Welcome to Business Class, a podcast for people wanting to upgrade their thinking, upgrade their learning, and upgrade their life. I'm your host, Eugenia Panderhos, founder of Business Class Collective, best-selling author, and life coach. If you're an entrepreneur, a startup, or someone who dreams of reaching their full potential, then you're in the right place. You'll feel empowered and inspired to design the life you've always wanted. Let's do this. Hello and welcome to the podcast. I am thrilled that you're joining me again this week. I hope you've had a beautiful week. I'm thrilled that my friend Margaret Pierides is joining me today to talk about mindset. Margaret, welcome to the show. I'm really happy to have you here. You're a beloved friend and mentor to me, so I'm thrilled to have you here.
Well, thank you so much, Jeannie. Happy to be here.
Margaret, can you tell me a little bit about yourself, like your background, your family, your education?
Right, yes. I was born in 1957. I have 3 siblings, 2 brothers and a sister. We're all a year apart. Yeah, had an interesting family upbringing. It was, I suppose, like most families, intermittently dysfunctional at times, but I do think that we were loved. When I finished my schooling, I started nursing, which I enjoyed. I did my 3-year general nursing at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. I then went on to do my intensive care course. Following that, I did my psych, a Bachelor of Nursing at Flinders and a postgraduate in health counselling. And I think my last place, before retiring, my last place of employment was in working in the psych field, which I really did enjoy immensely. It was, and I found this ability to connect to others and to feel a real empathy, and I felt like I really was doing something meaningful and worthwhile.
So nursing was your calling?
I think it was. I didn't initially, but yeah, in retrospect, I think that because it's acts of service, and I really enjoy that. That's me. That's who I am. I get a lot of feeling alive doing that. Yeah, so I'd have to say that was my calling.
What does mindset mean to you, Margaret?
Mindset to me is really how you face up to challenges in life. You can have a positive mindset, a growth mindset, or a negative mindset, a stuck mindset. Well, I've certainly had both. So I'm able to see how you can get out of a stuck mindset and develop a growth mindset. Yeah, it's an incredible thing, and I think that if most people could sort of see the advantages of facing up to the challenges, no matter how hard they are, and developing that growth mindset, the outcomes can be incredible, absolutely incredible.
Yes, life brings us challenges, and it asks us to dig really deep, and it's up to us and having a support network that can help us get through them. But also working on mindset means that you have agency over your life and your choices and how you show up. And I think part of that journey is also being kind to ourselves when we're struggling.
Oh, absolutely. You have to really develop that ability to love and care for yourself, nurture yourself before you can do it to anybody else. If you can't do it to yourself, then you can't truly give to anybody else. Well, that's my belief anyway.
It's mine too, Margaret. I really believe that. What do you do to maintain a productive mindset under stress or uncertainty?
Well, it took me a while to work that out, because for many years I was in fight and flight mode following a tragedy in my family, and it became addictive in that, well, it became hardwired into my brain, so it became like a bad habit, okay? So I had to breathe, believe it or not. I had to stop in the moment and respond and not react. Because a lot of the time I was reacting, and I had to learn to respond so that my brain had time to process that. That's when something is really overwhelming. That's what I do. But as far as living my life to the best of my ability and having good outcomes, is I have rituals that I do, and it works for me big time. So, yeah, breath work, believe it or not, breath work, yeah. So,
what other rituals do you have in your day that help
well, when I was going through a really traumatic period in my life, I just, isolated myself, and all the things I taught everybody else I couldn't do. So I was in a negative mindset, and in order to do the positive mindset, I had to get up for myself. I had to really challenge myself to do things that I knew would probably work, but it took a while to do it. And one of those was I had to get up and I still do it, and it works, 5 a.m. every morning. Have a warm shower, have a cold shower, which I feel like screaming, like going in the shower because it was awful. But I don't know what it gives you, a sustained dopamine hit or what, but it was amazing. It just completely changed how I felt, because I hated getting up in the morning. I couldn't stand it. I just would have this perpetual ache in my heart. It was constant. It was there for years. Anyway, and then I go to the gym at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I hated that too. In fact, I still think every now and again I can't do this, but I know it's good medicine. I know that this is what gets me through and gets me on to the next level of doing the next good thing. And so I challenge myself. If I'm frightened of something or think that I can't do it, what's the worst thing that can happen is it doesn't work out. So it's really facing my fears as well. So that's how I see to me is a positive mindset for me. And it has a flow-on effect with other people in your life as well, particularly people that you love. But yeah, I have to do that. And you talked about self-nurturing. You talked about, I do all of that, and it's what food I put in my body. What food I put in my body. And saying no to things that I don't want to do. So a lot of us as the nice girls growing up, particularly in my area, patriarchal society, keep yourself nice and say yes when you don't really mean it, but you have to do it. Being a people pleaser, stop that. You can politely decline something. If it's really, really difficult for you and you don't want to do it, then don't. Respect yourself. So that took a while to do that. But it's like anything, and they talk about neuroplasticity in the brain, is you can change your brain, but you can develop a good habit or a bad habit. Whatever you do a lot of, you get good at. So I've told myself that. So my mindset is to really, I don't get it right all the time, but I just keep telling myself that saying progress, not perfection, and I will get there. And I am. I have slip-ups. I'm not, as I said, not perfect. But the more I do it, the better I get. It's like anything in life. So that's a mindset that, I can do this. I can do this. And that's what I say, I can do this. So I'm going to be a cheerleader to myself. And I hang around. There's a saying that the 5 people that you hang around with, it's like the contagion effect. I'm really careful who I have in my life. I've got my inner circle of my non-blood sisters who I love, and I would rise to the occasion for them. If they said, I need you at 2 o'clock in the morning, I'll be there. And then I've got the people on the outside, that they're my friends, and I'm polite, but not in my heart. Does that make sense? And then there's people, no go. All right? I respect myself enough not to have someone who's going to make me feel bad about myself. Anybody who does that by little put downs or just little snide remarks or not being genuine, you're out. Because whereas before I put up with that sort of stuff, don't do it now. So it's really about looking after yourself.
Yes, it's about, I think, healthy boundaries that we get to learn as we grow older, to put them in place, and also self-respect, self-love, self-respect, knowing that you have your inner circle, that's your tribe of women, that's your network, and you're one of mine. And then you have the other people, the other family, and which is important to me, and then the acquaintances. But you need to know where you stand with all of them. But I agree with you, Margaret, wholeheartedly. Negative people can just stay away.
Absolutely. It is the contagion effect. Someone said, mentors, cheerleaders, and people who call you on your bullshit. I love that. I love that because I want to keep growing. I want to evolve as a person. I want to be the best version of myself that I can be. And I want to pass it on. I want to be like other people that surround me. I want them to be like that too. Because to me, why we're here, it's all about growth and being a decent, compassionate, caring human being. That's all I want to be. And I think, to me, that's gold. That's riches.
I love that, Margaret. What's a belief you changed in the last few years, and what led to that change?
Developing a positive mindset and not being stuck. Believing in myself when there was a place when it can happen to any of us. Life's not a birthday cake. Life is tough, and all of us get sent challenges, tragedies in different ways. And it's really, as I said, how you respond to that can quite often determine the outcome. I think that I've changed in that I have decided that I will try and look for the light in things, whereas before I tended to go more towards worrying about unnecessary things and perhaps having more of a gloomy look on life.
I think our mindset reveals our resilience and our self-awareness. And I think you've touched on all of that in this conversation. So, Margaret, you're a highly attuned individual, and I know that you've helped many people through challenging times, me included. Your awareness, presence, compassion, and intelligence are just some of your amazing qualities. The ability to reframe is a key mindset skill. What is your secret to helping others?
I don't know. It might be more of just an empathy and an intuition, and because I can be really objective with other people and be good at helping them on their journey. Not so much, I am better than I was, but I'm just saying is that because I can reflect back on how I responded to things, so I know what to do and what not to do, and I've got a great empathy. I can sort of sense it's more of an intuition and a feeling that I have. And I have been able to help people that have been, and I don't talk about it because I respect, sort of that keeping things private. But I have helped a few people out there, and one in particular who'd been through a really, really difficult time, and it didn't look due to a grief issue, and didn't look like they were able to get back from where they are. But through persistence and getting that person to do the same things that I do for myself, this person was able to make this miraculous recovery. And a lot of people do know about it because they asked me to come and help this person. I felt really good that I could help that person on their journey. A couple of others as well. I look at my background in my work as well. That's another thing as far as my mindset is concerned, is also to that positivity and that belief that you can pass it on. Just pass it on. From that, hopefully that person passes it on, passing on the good stuff, I think.
Yes, having a positive contagion effect, people helping others. And I think you set the tone, you help someone, let them pass it on too.
Yeah.
Because as we grow and develop, we have the skills, we have the knowledge, we have the experience, and that we can help other people. How do you stay motivated?
I have to tell myself, I read inspirational things in the morning, or if I have time, and I also am motivated by my beautiful grandchildren. I will just visualise an activity with them. They are lovely, absolutely beautiful, but one of the things that grandchildren has taught me is mindfulness. So I'm absolutely in the moment, and there's so much joy, it's hard to explain unless I think most grandparents would feel that. Just being in the moment with those children, it changes your frequency in your whole body. It's just incredible. If I don't feel like doing something, I'll visualise them. I'll visualise them. That helps me keep motivated. Knowing that if I keep doing what I need to do every morning, then I'm going to maintain this feeling of well-being. And I've got friends too that I'll just run things by them and say, what do you think? And they'll, because they're only hang around with truth tellers, I'll think, oh yeah, well I might look at that and I might do it differently next time if I need to. So I just want to keep growing, that's what keeps me motivated.
Yeah. Who's your biggest inspiration?
Nelson Mandela, and even Audrey Hepburn, for the way that just her beautiful thoughts all the time, and her early life. Look at her, sweet little ballet dancer running with messages in her ballet shoes. And now Nelson Mandela, I mean, wow, is that not resilience? Was that not resilience? Amazing. So yeah, I think about people like that and I think, wow, I have nothing to complain about, just keep pushing on. Because there was a time when I did not want to push on at all. Breathing air was hard for me.
Going back to Nelson Mandela, for anyone listening now, I recommend that you look at the YouTube video of him the moment he's released from prison. You can see a change in his thought that happens in a nanosecond about whether he was going to be imprisoned mentally for the rest of his life, even though he had his freedom. So it's a very valuable clip for anyone who's on the edge of change or facing challenges, that in that moment we get to choose. And Margaret today has shared the moments that she's choosing actively to live her best life, regardless of challenges. So you're a student of life, Margaret. Is there a particular book that helped your mindset?
Viktor Frankl?
Yes. Prisoner of Our Thoughts.
Yes. Amazing man. To think that all during the Holocaust, when he was a prisoner, he in a concentration camp, he'd lost his pregnant wife and some of his family members, and I think he was actually a psychiatrist at the time, and there was people within the concentration camps that didn't want to go on, and he was able to inspire them to do that. What an incredible man. And to later on to continue on sharing how he survived and was able to inspire others to do the same. That's just amazing.
It's remarkable, Margaret. That book really changed my mindset. When I read that book, I thought to myself, what a journey this man has been on, how he's helped other people, as you've said, how he went to live till a ripe old age and change perceptions about what being imprisoned means. You know, because we can be prisoners of our own minds. We can be, even though we're free in the community and we've got agency over our life, our thoughts can trap us, and that's where the abundance mindset or the scarcity mindset comes into it.
Absolutely, you could. I mean, to me, we absolutely, your thoughts, whatever you think, your thoughts become your feelings and your actions. So, like, why not brainwash yourself with good stuff, with absolutely good stuff? You can have little mini cults hang around with the wrong people or tell yourself the wrong stuff, and it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. When you think, but we never bother to think about it, do we? We never bother to think about it. We just go along. Oh, that thought. Oh, okay. I write down a list. I've not done that, but I'm going to do it now. It's write down a list what I'm going to think about and try and put this good stuff in my head, or make a list to read inspirational stuff. Something inspiring every day. So, and it doesn't matter if it doesn't work initially, over a period of time, whatever you put in your head will start to stick. Religion, all sorts of belief systems. It's, wow, thanks for that, Jeannie, because I hadn't thought of that.
Socrates tells us an unexamined life is not worth living, and that ties up with what we're just talking about. Examining your life, doing a little mini audit, watching your thoughts, watching your words, and making the changes, the positive changes that you need to make. Otherwise, you're just on automatic. You're just doing the same things over and over again without real thought. So establishing a routine that you're aware of, that you know is good for you, that's fantastic. It's good for me too. You've inspired me with that. And the other thing was, I know that you're interested in the Stoic philosophers, and that's something that you read and are interested in. So,
look, Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor, amazing man, full of so much equanimity. Seneca, Epictetus, amazing people to me. And I might offend people saying this, but I think that if this, as well as religion in schools, I think that Stoic philosophy should have definitely been a part of our belief system and culture. I really do believe that that would have helped so many humans to be able to endure life on life's terms, because really it's about resilience. I don't know if that's what we're teaching now. It's really important to learn to be resilient. Whereas Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor with everything, would deliberately sleep on a hard floor, or a bit like the cold shower that I'm saying now. Expose yourself to some discomfort or be able to deal with it. I think being too comfortable isn't a good thing. I think that you learn to deal with stuff. I just think I just wish Stoic philosophy there was more of it out there. I don't really hear a lot of it out there. Do you?
Not out there, but I know around our table growing up, my parents used to talk about the philosophers and the lessons from those philosophers, which is no surprise that philosophy's become part of my daily habits and belief systems, and I always look to see what we learn from the people who lived before us, who didn't live in the comforts that we live in, but they also had the mindset to be all-encompassing in their lives, like to make decisions and to make good decisions, spread good and positive words that are still relevant today. I think this is the thing that surprises me the most, that philosophies from thousands of years ago or hundreds of years ago are still present today.
Absolutely.
And are relevant.
Yeah, absolutely. And I look at that, I think, to me, teaching young children to be resilient is as important as they're validating their emotions. So it's really important. Like, I think what we recognise now in bringing up children is the emotionally validating their thoughts and their feelings, and not sort of saying, oh, then that doesn't matter, or it's silly, or if you say, oh, child says I'm cold. No, you're not cold, you've got a cardigan on. it's really important to not do that and validate their feelings. I understand that. But at the same time, I also believe it's important to help make a child resilient as well, and not over coddle them, because I think that the more that they're encouraged to face their fears, and you've got to be supportive as well, of course, and to push themselves. I personally believe that I might be crucified by people who hear me say that, because I'll say, well, that's not true, but that's what I believe. I believe that not doing things for children that they can do for themselves and encourage them to go to the next level, it empowers them. It empowers them, and that is all part of a self-esteem issue as well. So, yeah, so that's sort of tied in with Stoic philosophy, isn't it? But not really. But I'm just interested at looking at how belief systems with bringing up children keep changing all the time. But being as old as I am now, I can sort of see what I believe could possibly work. So yeah, resilience, big on that.
What's the best piece of advice you've received?
Don't worry about what other people think.
What advice would you give to your younger self?
To trust myself, to trust my instincts, put myself first instead of worrying about other people all the time.
I like that, Margaret.
Do you? Doesn't sound selfish. That's what I've just been told when I was a child, but that's selfish.
Because there's a healthy ego, where ego is self-love, atomic, because that's the Greek word for it. So when you're an atom, you're just alone, right? And so there are people who think only of themselves and can't think about anyone else. But there's healthy ego, but then there's unhealthy ego. So it's about finding that self-love and self-respect and understanding.
I think when I say put myself, it's my beliefs not to be told what to do something that doesn't fit, that doesn't really feel comfortable with me, which I did for years because I was brought up. Keep yourself nice. It's very much, girls was just so different then, in that we were inferior to men. And changing that over time, I wish that I had sort of stood up for myself more and put myself first, and rather than sort of bending. I don't do that now.
I hear you, Margaret. I think it's important to put yourself first and to have that self-care and that self-love. And from there, you're actually modelling behaviour that's positive for future generations, for your children, for your grandchildren.
Absolutely. And I'm starting to see that in society now, is that, well, particularly with the millennials, from what I've seen with my children and their partners, is that they work together as a team. That is a lovely thing to see, in that they're both equal in their partnership, and their children will see that, and that's a lovely thing. My father would never have done what my daughter's husband does. He's an amazing, absolutely most incredible human being, and I think, wow. But why am I saying that is incredible? Because that's how it should have been and should always have been. Is that we are, if you want your children to see their parents as equal citizens of the universe, and it just that's something for the greater good, I think.
Yes, and I think grandparents are products of their generation as we are of ours, and life has progressed, roles have changed, and there is that harmony in the home, husbands and wives helping each other with the raising of children, allocation of chores.
Absolutely.
And it's that being present and not having control in an unhealthy way because of set roles.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree. I can actually see how that does flow down to the children as well. And it is a lovely thing to see. It's progress, isn't it?
It
not
is.
perfection. And So there are some nice changes in the world.
Mm-hmm. Yes, progress, not perfection. It's one step at a time. Margaret, we're going to go through 22 questions that allows the audience to learn a little bit more about you. So one-word answers where possible. What makes you smile?
My husband when he laughs.
What's your favourite meal?
A simple one, but it's actually, I really love it. A cheese omelette with spinach and smoked salmon.
If you could travel anywhere in the world, where would it be?
Innsbruck in Austria.
Do you prefer to text, call or voicemail?
Call.
Do you play a musical instrument? Do you sing, dance or perhaps hum?
I sing and dance with my grandchildren. I love it because it makes me feel it's tribal, and it just sort of it changes your frequency for sure.
What's your happy place?
With my grandchildren.
What's your favourite city and why?
Lake Como. It's just a magical place. It's just got a lovely vibe. Yeah, I could stay there.
What movie would you recommend?
The Green Mile.
Do you have a favourite song?
Beautiful in My Eyes by Joshua Caddison.
What's your favourite coffee?
Piccolo.
What's a small thing that brings you great joy?
A hug from a grandchild.
If you could live anywhere for a year, where would it be?
Lake Como.
If you could have a catch-up with anyone, who would it be?
Nelson Mandela.
What's your favourite meal? Breakfast, lunch or dinner?
Breakfast.
What's your favourite time of day?
Early morning.
What's the best holiday you ever had?
Lake Como.
Do you enjoy sweet or savoury?
I have made myself like savoury.
What's your biggest strength?
My ability to shut my mouth when I really want to open it.
Do you speak another language?
Not fluently, but I can say I love you in 4 different languages.
Can you tell us what that is?
Ich liebe dich. German, Singapore, Greek, and Ti amo, Italian, and Lebanese. I mix it up. Is that Yenin Hopok or Habibi? Can't remember. It's one of those two.
I love it. Is there a cause you're passionate about?
Yeah, I'm passionate about mental health, depression, suicide prevention. I think that we still have a long way to go. There's a lot of virtue signalling and lip service, but I really don't think that people equate it. It's life-threatening. People die, but equate it with a serious physical illness. I still think it's something that you can't see, and that we're still. I don't think that mental health has come as far as other dealing with other illnesses, and that we're still pretty much in the dark ages, and it's so sad because it can be so preventable.
If you could have 3 guests at your table, who would they be?
Nelson Mandela, Dalai Lama, and Audrey Hepburn.
If you were a hashtag, what would you be?
Self-belief.
I love that, Margaret. Thank you for joining me on the podcast. It's been a wonderful experience to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me, Jeannie. That was fun.
This podcast is lovingly dedicated to Anthony Pierides in his memory, and he remains in our heart and in our minds, and we shall never forget the wonderful young man that he was and the legacy that he's left behind. If you or anyone you know is feeling vulnerable and needs help, please reach out to receive support and counselling for mental health in the country in which you live. I know this podcast goes globally, so I can't list them all here, but please do reach out. Until next time.